Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hart, and today I'll be breaking down the 5-game NBA slate we have here on DraftKings for Sunday night. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. I'll be going over my favorite spin-up plays, mid-range options, and value plays on this slate. So let's get into the breakdown. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, guys, at HartDFS. Now let's get into the slate breakdown. Going to be a pretty quick one, just going to say my favorite plays from each salary range. So at the top here, love Steph Curry going against the Kings. We know the Kings are a bad defensive team. Steph has been doing great when it comes to scoring the ball. Hasn't been shooting the ball too well. I know, 45% is obviously very, very solid, but 10 of 22 each time. Get into the free throw line. So really like Steph here as your number one pay up option. Don't really like Towns, Booker, or Gobert. Towns did see a ton of volume in that second game against Utah. It just seems a little too pricey for me. Would rather pay down for a guy like Anthony Edwards, who has a little bit more upside and ceiling, but obviously Towns going against OKC looks decent. Booker is just a little too scoring dependent going against the Clippers for me. Gobert, 9K, once again, seeing a ton of volume, which is not usually what we expect from Gobert, but I just don't like the 9,100 price tag on him. Paul George, I think Kawhi Leonard and John Wall should be back for this game, so we're not going to get Paul George as just the main lone star in the team. So 8,900 is a little too pricey, but he was obviously great and fantastic for us yesterday. In this 8K range, I like SGA, good amount. As we know, he's pretty much the whole team. Guy who's going to go out there and do a little bit of everything, very good scorer. So the price tag is up there a little bit, but once again, he's going against a fast-paced Minnesota team, doesn't play the best defense. Obviously, Gobert helps with them defensively, but really like SGA, good amount there. Zion looks decent. 8,800 is a little pricey. Not the best shooter, so he gets all his points mostly around the rim. I don't mind it. I just rather pay down for guys. Donovan Mitchell looks great. Darius Garland's still out. He's going to see the minutes, going to see the shot attempts. He's been getting those peripheral stats, especially assists, which is what you like to see because, in Utah, he wasn't doing that, but now is more as like the main point guard for Cleveland. Really like him. I'd say he's probably a core play for me today. Darren Fox has been playing fantastic the first two games of the season. Shooting the ball a ton, which is something he wasn't doing last year. Maybe a little bit towards the end he was, but 33, 36 looks great going against Golden State Warriors. I mean, I don't see why anything would change with how many times he's shooting the ball. Going against Steph, doesn't play a lot of defense, so good amount of interest there. 8,500. Kawhi Leonard, 8,400. I just don't think we have to do it yet. He only played 21 in that first game back against the Lakers. Expect to see maybe close to the same amount. They haven't really released anything in about him yet. I'm assuming he'll still get like mid-20s minutes, so don't think to do that for him at 8,400. Brad Beal looks fantastic as a run back here against Cleveland. Not seen the volume that we're used to with Brad Beal. The minutes are there. It's just the volume hasn't been there for Brad, even though he's shooting the ball, great the past two games. Expect him to start picking it up when it comes to the offense here for the Wizards, so really like him. In the 8K range is my favorite 8K play, alongside Donovan Mitchell. Brandon Ingram looks pretty solid here. It's going to be a huge year for Brandon Ingram. So he's going to have the minutes. He's going to have the shot attempts. 53 fantasy points on only 16 shot attempts is pretty crazy. He's going to get you the rebounds and assists. So I really like him a good amount as well. Sabonis looks solid going against Golden State. A little bit more of a Sabonis game, that second game against the Clippers. Double-double, almost triple-double upside. So 8,100, pretty good price tag for him. As I said, prefer Anthony Edwards if you're going to get a piece from this Minnesota team. Just going to see a ton of volume when it comes to shooting the ball. Has the ability to get you those rebounds, assists as well to help with the fantasy points. But he's just a very good scorer, very good player. 7,800 looks great for him. Porzingis, it's just the minutes, 32, 29. He did foul out against the Bulls. So he should normally see 32 to 35 minutes. Good scorer, but going to go up against Jared Allen, who's a pretty solid defender. 7,600. Don't hate it. Obviously he's a huge ceiling. Don't mind going there. Giddey, 7,400. Had a great game. Second game, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. looks solid. It just looks like a decent play against Minnesota. J-Val going against Utah. Had a monster game against Charlotte. Utah, another team that doesn't really have a center, so it looks like a decent spot to run it back with J-Val if you want to. I'd say maybe my favorite play on this 7K range is probably going to be, I'd say Anthony Edwards, 7,800. Let's see here, 6,000 range. Chris Paul, just absolutely just trash. Solid second game there, but 5 steals, that's 10 fantasy points right there. If you got half of those, or maybe 1 or 2, you want to be in the 40s at all. Kyle Kuzma has been kind of the main scorer for the Washington Wizards so far. I don't know what to make of it. I obviously Brad Beal, I think Porzingis are better scorers, better offensive players, but it just, Porzingis is falling out. Brad Beal hasn't been shooting as much. So, Kuzma has been picking up the slack, hitting the threes. Kind of expected where Brad Beal is going to be the number 1 over the course of the season. And then I think Porzingis will be 2A and Kuzma will be 2B. So 6,800 looks okay for him. Don't mind it. Andrew Wiggins looks solid, playing a good amount of minutes. He's been very solid when it comes to scoring the ball, 6,700. Kind of the second leading scorer on the team behind Steph. Going against a bad, Sacramento team. Don't love it, but don't hate it. Who else we got here? Lauri Markkanen, he's just getting the minutes, going against this Pelicans team, so he's going to have to be guarding Zion. Don't love that, but he's getting a ton of minutes, seeing a good amount of volume as well. Double-double upside. Don't mind that play in the 6K range. I don't have a lot of interest in the 6K range, but, Mobley looks great, 6K. Blew out the Bulls, so he didn't really have many opportunities. Scored 16 points, but other than that, they really didn't need to go to the big man. But yeah, like running it here with Washington. Don't really think Kyle Kuzma is going to be able to guard Evan Mobley, so 6K for him looks great. John Wall, Kawhi Leonard are back. Reggie Jackson should see mid-20s minutes. Don't think it's to go there. I like Poole, good amount here, 5,900. Had a kind of a slow start to the season, 4-15, 2-5 against Denver. Expect him to really pick it up here. Prices drop down. 5,900 for Poole is pretty solid get. Draymond Green, 5,900. Don't think you get to do that. Karis LeVert, I like running it back here with Karis. Had a, only shot at 4 of 12, but still got you 35.5 fantasy points. A guy's going to go out there, do a little bit of everything, plays a good amount of minutes as well. So, like Karis LeVert, a good amount as well. I think he's another core play for me today. Zubach, saw 24 minutes, as I said. If he's going to play 35 minutes, he looks like a great play. If he's going to play the mid-20s minutes, like he did last year, not a great play. So, classic Zubach, just, one game playing a ton, one game not. Mikal Bridges looks okay. Lou Dort, don't mind it. As I said, he's going to see the volume. He just hasn't shot the ball well the past 2 games, so you're going to be, he's going to have those minutes, going to get you some rebounds, assists. If he hits his shots, he could go off for a huge game. So good amount of interest there, 5,500 for Lou Dort. Jaden McDaniels is playing a ton of minutes, 36, 39. Obviously not too involved offensively, but he can definitely get you there. Don't hate that. Keegan Murray off the bench, 33 minutes, solid game, 5,400. That's too cheap for Keegan Murray. Sexton, only 19 minutes. John Wall should see about, mid-20s minutes. Kevin Love had a great game yesterday against the Bulls. Once again, he's going to be limited to, 25 minutes at most. Can get you there in that amount of time, but he was also 5 or 6 from 3. So if he's not shooting the ball well, don't really expect him to get you there. I don't mind taking a shot on Norman Powell here. Probably will see mid-20 minutes, but, he's seeing a decent volume for mid-20s minutes. If he gets hot, they're going to keep him in, and he just hasn't been shooting the ball, so I think it's worth a mention. A little risky, but obviously worth a mention. don't mind Cam Johnson. Obviously coming off that hip injury against Portland, so he lost a good amount of minutes. Good 3-point shooter. So if he's hitting his shots, could easily pay off that price tag. Not a lot I love down here in the 4K range. Walker Kessler. Just a ton of these young teams are just playing so many guys just mid-teens to 20s minutes where it's like they could definitely get you there, but it's one of those like it's just like a coin toss if they do. Porzingis gets in foul trouble. Gafford is a decent point per minute guy who could see 20 minutes, but don't love that. Herb Jones is going to see the minutes, but obviously not too involved offensively. Can get you some steals, which he hasn't got the first 2 games, but he's got the blocks, so 4,400 looks okay. Sadie looks like a pretty good play. Has lost a good amount of minutes just due to foul trouble. 3 that first game, 5 the second game. Do expect him to have a little bit more of a role here against Washington, 4,300. Going to be very popular. Solid play there. Damian Lee has been seeing decent run for the Suns. DeLon Wright is splitting time with Monte Morris, so it kind of takes them both out of play. Trey Murphy, as I said, there's just not a ton I really like under this 4K range. Denny, going to get the start. A decent option at 3,900. Obviously going to be like the 4th scorer, but if he's hitting some shots, he's going to get you those rebounds and assists. That's kind of his role. Kind of be the guy that can do a little bit of everything out there to help out. So I don't hate that, but otherwise, I don't think there's much in this 3 to 4K range that you really have to, dip into. I'd say stay above that, because otherwise you're really throwing dart throws. Jalen Noel, getting there the past 2 games on a ton of volume on this Minnesota team. So if you need like a low down pay up or low down option to help out with salary relief, you can definitely look to him. He's not getting a ton of minutes, but let's say D'Lo's doing bad, gets in foul trouble, you're going to look to Jalen Noel off the bench to help out there. As you can see, the past 2 games shot the ball a ton. So there's a ton of volume to go around on that Minnesota team. They like to play fast. So I don't mind targeting them. But yeah, that really does it. As I said, there's not a ton I love in this 3K range. It's all pretty much just dart throws of guys who are going to play 15 to 25 minutes at most, unless there's like huge foul trouble for starters. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really suggest staying above even like the 4K range. If you're playing that 4K range, is obviously going to be steady. 3K range, Jalen Noel. Otherwise, I'd stay probably 5K or above for my plays today, and that's kind of how I see this slate going. These are my 3 core players: Brad Beal, Karis LeVert, and Donovan Mitchell. Expect this game to be fast scoring, fast paced, and yeah, that's the slate breakdown. So if you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.